Hello there, and welcome to your next math lesson. Go ahead and open up your math notebook and turn to the next available page. At the top of the page, please write quotients with zeros. Okay, so remember, a quotient is the answer to a division problem. So today's lesson is quotients or answers to division problems with zeros. And the best way to jump into today's lesson is just to do some examples together, because there's really nothing new in today's lesson. It's just we're applying stuff we've already learned to a new situation. So we already know that the steps to long division are divide, multiply, subtract, compare, bring down, go back to divide, cycle through these steps as many times as we can, and then at the end, write your remainder. And we remember that with the acronym dirty monkey smell crazy bad, right? Okay, so let's do an example together. Let's say we had 418 divided by 2. So we start with the first step, which is divide. We divide the divisor into the first digit of the dividend. 2 can fit into 4 2 times. Okay, our next step is multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. After that, we subtract. 4 minus 4 is 0. Okay, now, is 0 smaller than 2? This is the compare step. Is 0 smaller than 2? Yes. So now we bring down the 1. Now, quotients with zeros, answers to division problems with zeros. This is the new situation. So after bringing down, we go up to divide. We're supposed to divide the divisor into this new number that we've created by subtracting and bringing down. But here's the problem. We can't fit 2 into 1. So this is the new situation in today's lesson. We have a division problem where the divisor's bigger than the dividend here in this part of this larger division problem. 2 is bigger than 1. So how do we fit 2 into 1? And the answer is you put a 0 in the quotient. 2 can fit into 1 0 times. That's what you do anytime you run into this situation where you have to divide this into this, but this number's bigger than this number. You just say 2 can fit into 1, or whatever this number is, can fit into this number 0 times. And then you just keep going like normal. Next, you multiply. 0 times 2 is 0. Then you subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. Then you compare. 1 is smaller than 2. Then you bring down. Now you go back to divide. 2 can fit into 18 9 times. And then you multiply. 9 times 2 is 18. Then you subtract. 18 minus 18 equals 0. Then you compare. 0 is smaller than 2. Then you bring down, but there's nothing left to bring down. So the answer is 209. Let's do another example. Let's do 210 divided by 2. Okay. First step, we divide 2 into 2, and it can fit in 1 time. Next step, multiply. 1 times 2 is 2. Next step, subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. Next step, compare. Is 0 smaller than 2? Yes. Next step, bring down. And here's the same situation again. We can't fit 2 into 1, so we just say 2 can fit into 1 0 times. Okay? Now we go back to divide. We just divided. Now we multiply. See, even I get mixed up sometimes. 0 times 2 is 0. Now we subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. Now we compare. Is 1 smaller than 2? Yes. So we bring down. And now we go back to divide. 2 can fit into 10 5 times. Now we multiply. 5 times 2 is 10. We subtract. 10 minus 10 is 0. We compare. 0 is smaller than 2. Now we bring down, but there's nothing left to bring down, so the answer is 105. Let's do a couple more examples together before I set you free on the independent work. Let's do 6,000. We'll do a 4-digit dividend this time. 6,213 divided by 2. Okay, and I'll rewrite the division steps. Divide, multiply, subtract, compare, bring down, go back to divide, cycle through these steps as many times as we can, and then write your remainder at the end when you can't bring down anything more. Okay, start with divide. We divide the 2 into the 6. 2 can fit into 6 3 times. Then we multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. Then we subtract. 6 minus 6 is 0. Now we compare. Is 0 smaller than 2? Yes. So now we bring down the 2 next to the 0. We go back to divide. 2 can fit into 2 1 time. Now we multiply. 1 times 2 is 2. Now we subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. Now we compare. Is 0 smaller than 2? Yes. So now we bring down. Now we go back to divide, but 2 can't fit into 1. 2 is bigger than 1. So 2 can go into 1 0 times. Now we multiply. 0 times 2 is 0. Now we subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. Now we compare. Is 1 smaller than 2? Yes. So now we bring down. Okay. Now we go back to divide. How many times can 2 fit into 13? 2 times 6 is 12, which is closest to 13 without going over. So 2 can fit into 13 6 times. Now we multiply. 2 times 6 is 12. Now we subtract. 13 minus 12 is 1. Now we compare. Is 1 smaller than 2? Yes. So now we bring down. There's nothing left to bring down. We do have a remainder. So we write remainder 1. And that's our final answer. 3,106, remainder 1. Okay? Let's do another example together. Let's do 8,017 divided by 9. Oh, actually, no, let's not do that example because we haven't done the lesson place the first digit yet. Let's do 9,163 divided by 3. Okay, 9,163 divided by 3. So we start by dividing. 3 can fit into 9 3 times. Now we multiply. 3 times 3 equals 9. Now we subtract. 9 minus 9 equals 0. Now we compare. Is 0 smaller than 1? Yes. Now we bring down. Now we go back to divide. 3 can't fit into 1. So 3 can fit into 1 0 times. And that's the only new thing in today's lesson is that you end up in this situation where you can't divide this number into this number. So you just say this number can fit into this number 0 times. Okay? Next, you multiply. 0 times 3 is 0. Then you subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. Now you compare. Is 1 smaller than 3? Yes. So now you bring down. Now we go back to divide. 3 can fit into 16 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. We just multiplied. Now we subtract. 16 minus 15 is 1. Now we compare. Is 1 smaller than 3? Yes. Now we bring down. Now we go back to divide. 3 can fit into 13 4 times. Now we multiply. 4 times 3 is 12. Now we subtract. 13 minus 12 is 1. Now we compare. Is 1 smaller than 3? Yes. Now we bring down. There's nothing left to bring down. So we write our remainder, which is 1. 3,054, remainder 1. Okay? Now for your independent work. For your independent work, I'd like you to do these problems. Okay? Go ahead and do 312 divided by 3 for your first independent problem. And let's see. And then also do 4,324 divided by 4. Those are your two independent problems, okay? 312 divided by 3 and 4,324 divided by 4. So go ahead and write those problems down in your math notebook and then solve them independently, and then click on the next video under this one to see if you did them right, okay? And I will catch you next time.